raising the rates?
Staff concludes that there were significant deficiencies in the planning and procurement processes.
Northwestern Energy looking to charge more, but the PSC raises some concerns. Plus, SNAP benefits once again flowing.
I am still playing catch up because I had to find what bills I could pay bare minimum on.
But receiving those funds in the future may now be more difficult. We'll tell you why. And training day.
We don't see mass casualty incidents every day, and so it's super important to practice.
First responders take to the mountain in Red Lodge as they prepare for disaster. The MTN 10 o'clock news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. I'm Russ Riesinger. The rulings have been made, including one surrounding Laurel's new gas plant. After 2 days of debate, Montana's top utility regulators delivered their decisions on Northwestern Energy's proposals for increased electric and gas rates. In the end, it proved to be a victory for both taxpayers and the energy company. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian breaks down what they said yes to and what they said no to.
After 16 months of work on Northwestern Energy's latest rate case, the Montana Public Service Commission took action Wednesday morning on new proposed electrical and gas rates. In the end, the commission disallowed some, but not all, of the company's contested proposals for rate increases.
This is the Northwestern Energy gas and electric rate case.
The commission approved parts of the new rate system Tuesday, but they saved the pieces that were most at issue until Wednesday. Earlier this year, Northwestern reached a settlement with other parties in the rate case. They agreed on a partial increase in electrical and gas rates, but they left the commissioners to decide other issues. The most notable being how much money Northwestern should be able to collect from ratepayers to cover the costs of the Yellowstone County Generating Station, a natural gas-powered electric plant near Laurel. PSC staff recommended that commissioners lower those allowed costs, saying Northwestern hadn't provided enough evidence to show building the plant was the best option.
Staff concludes that there were significant deficiencies in the planning and procurement processes that raised serious doubts about whether Northwestern minimized total costs and risks for customers over the long term.
Commissioners agreed to most of the recommendations, but decided to let Northwestern claim several million more dollars to account for the costs of stopping work while an environmental lawsuit held up their permit.
Trying to get a project of this size, if you can imagine, getting contractors lined back up again and started back up again, fired back up again, it is no small matter.
Of course, the PSC is going to have a lot more to say about Northwestern Energy in the coming months. The commission is going to need to weigh in on the company's proposed merger with Black Hills Corporation. But so far, that issue hasn't been officially scheduled to be heard in front of the PSC. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
President Trump turned his focus to trade today as the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia wrapped up his 2-day visit to Washington. The president touted hundreds of billions of dollars in new deals and a partnership to expand the use of AI by building new infrastructure in both countries.
All of those AI plants that are being built to build their own electric generating force, and they're building them like nobody's ever seen.
Trump says the U.S. and Saudi Arabia are also boosting partnerships in more traditional industries, including oil and gas. The Saudis are buying U.S. military equipment, which President Trump says includes F-35 fighter jets. And tonight, the president went forward with signing a bill that paves the way for the release of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein. Caps a months-long bipartisan push in Congress. It was initially met with resistance from the president himself, along with several other Republican lawmakers. The House passed the bill yesterday, with the Senate unanimously agreeing to send it to the president's desk. That legislation requires Attorney General Pam Bondi to release all unclassified records related to Epstein within 30 days. 80,000 Montanans recently breathed a sigh of relief with the return of SNAP benefits. The impact of the government shutdown was felt hard by families, local grocery stores, but tonight there are questions that still linger. One of the major questions surrounds the recertification of that process and what that may look like for those that count on SNAP benefits. Charlie Kleps has more.
I was at this Billings Albertsons on Monday when the cashier told me that they've seen an uptick in customers since the SNAP benefits were reinstated.
doing?
And we're hearing the same from other local grocery stores as well.
We saw an impact on our sales of the staple goods.
Over in Warden, Project Merck owner Michael Ryder says when SNAP went away, he saw significant changes in their day-to-day.
Fresh meats, fresh produce, milk, cheese, those kind of items, sales were down in that area.
Down by 15% of the customers, Ryder says he actually changed how much he was buying for the store.
We had to back off on fresh produce, fresh meat, fresh milk, just because there is that impact.
An impact that felt some relief last week when the government shutdown officially ended.
We're starting to see, our normal customers flow through the store again.
I am still playing catch up because pretty much I had to find what bills I could pay bare minimum on and still, make sure that my daughter ate.
But Billings resident Stacy Winkle says that her family is still recovering from the weeks without SNAP.
The government's opened back up, SNAP's returned, and I still have bare shelves.
Bare shelves and new questions, especially about the potential changes for those recertifying for SNAP, a process which happens twice a year.
It is challenging, and I'm kind of stressing about it.
Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins hinted at making that process more strict in an effort, she says, to cut back on waste. And that's why Montanans will be receiving this letter, which states that if the proper forms and interview aren't completed by December 15th, it could mean the loss of SNAP.
It's very hard, and it's really embarrassing.
And possibly a lot more paperwork for Winkle, who says regardless, she'll be grateful for whatever she gets.
Even if the reapplication causes a lower benefit, I'm grateful to have something. I mean, everything helps right now.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
The future of Red Lodge Ice, one of the community's most loved winter spaces at Lions Park, is looking even brighter thanks to a tourism grant program. The opportunity now exists to improve and expand that ice rink. The group says funding will support a preliminary engineering report to guide development, including the potential of cooling coils. The cooling coils would extend the skating season and enhance reliability during warmer weather. The group's also looking to create a multi-season space that can be enjoyed year-round. This evening, dozens joined together for a community meeting as they aim to improve the recreational hub.
This allows us to be much more consistent and have a bigger tourist draw, as well as be a better resource for the community. And the other part is that we've identified summertime uses.
It's not yet known when that project will be complete.
A quiet scene, a live shot from Lewistown right in the middle of the state here this evening, but we're already down to 29 degrees with just a little bit of a southeast breeze. This is going to be one of the chillier overnights that we've seen for quite a while. Miles City, downtown's fairly quiet right now, and the temperature 29 degrees. Sky starting to clear out, and again we have those light winds in and across the eastern plains. Let's take a look out towards Billings and talk about the almanac for the day. Right now we're showing 36 as being the coolest all day because the temperatures dropped to 36. This morning we were in the 40s first thing, so as those temperatures continue to drop, we'll be watching for really some colder air to surge in, at least temporarily. As far as winds go today, we had some stronger gusts across northeastern Montana, more wind, more chilly temperatures. Could we even be talking about some snow? We'll give you the forecast details coming up in just a few minutes.
It was training day up on the mountain in Red Lodge today. Rescue teams from the mountain, Red Lodge Fire, and the hospital all came together for emergency response training. The group simulated a bus crash and what that response would look like for all involved. For the first responders, it's a great opportunity to prepare for the worst before it might happen.
We don't see mass casualty incidents every day, and so it's super important to practice and ensure we have a process that works for us in our agency and that works together.
The mountain is tentatively scheduled to open next Friday, just like it does every year. New safety flags are now attached to the stop signs at Mary Street and Bitterroot Drive, along with new stop ahead warnings. That's the intersection we told you about last night, where neighbors have seen 3 serious crashes in just the last few weeks. City, county, and state are all talking about the next steps, but they're still sorting out who has jurisdiction because of old county records. Neighbors say they've been raising concerns for days, worried that a deadly crash is only a matter of time. City Public Works Director Debbie Melling says they'll improve safety regardless of who controls the road. MDT expects a traffic study within a week, and Melling says any new signs must be warranted or they could make the intersection more dangerous. Meanwhile, residents at another busy Billings intersection are also raising the alarm tonight. This time it's 36th and Monad, a two-way stop, and the site of a vehicle crash just last night. For those living in that area, they claim those collisions are becoming far too common.
And it just baffles me because the eyesight line is clear. There's no obstruction, there's no trees, it's flat, and it just boggles my mind that there's so many accidents there.
We reached out to Billings Public Works to see what the city would need in order to make changes at the intersection, but haven't yet heard back.